I learned early that being a black woman in fine dining means mastering the art of disappearing. Not literally, but close enough. You learn to move through rooms like you're made of air. Refill water glasses without interrupting conversations. Clear plates from hands that never look up. Smile when they snap their fingers. Apologize when they don't say, thank you. You become background music, pleasant, forgettable, essential only when absent. Tonight, the restaurant smells like money. Soy braised short rib. Yuzu. Expensive wine breathing in crystal decanters. The kind of place where a single meal costs more than my weekly rent. I glide between tables in my pressed black vest and white button-down, a ghost in their gilded machine. Then I see her. Table 12. An elderly Korean woman, hands moving frantically in the air.
Signing.
Her face is flushed, eyes wide with the particular panic of someone drowning in a room full of people who refuse to throw a rope. The hostess backs away, confused. The manager's jaw tightens with that look, the one that says problem customer. Another server whispers, someone else deal with this. No one moves. She's invisible too.
Just like me.
My hands are already lifting before my brain catches up. What do you need? I sign. My fingers clumsy but clear. Her eyes flood with relief, so profound it cracks something open in my chest. Bibimbap, she signs back, trembling. No shellfish. Allergy. Severe. I nod.
Smile.
Write it down. For 3 seconds, I let myself believe this is just kindness. Just doing the right thing. Then I feel it, the weight of a gaze.
Sharp.
Calculating. I glance up. Across the room, a man in a tailored charcoal suit watches me. His face is unreadable, but his eyes are not. And in that moment, I know. I've just made the most dangerous decision of my life. Belle, before the story continues, a quick word to you. Before I take you deeper into the story, let me ask you something. How many stories have you heard where the quietest person in the room changes everything? This channel exists for those stories. Stories about invisible people, hidden power, secrets that explode when kindness meets danger. If this story already pulled you in, even just a little, backhand index pointing right, tap the like button. It tells the algorithm this story deserves to be seen. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe so you don't miss what happens when silence becomes a weapon. Backhand index pointing right, and when you hear something that hits close to home, drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them. This community grows through shared insight. Now, let me take you back to the moment before everything went wrong. My feet are screaming by hour 6. Friday nights at Arirang are a special kind of hell, the kind where wealthy people pretend to appreciate Korean cuisine while butchering the pronunciation of banchan. I've been weaving through tables since 4 o'clock, my smile superglued in place, my body operating on autopilot and spite. More water, table 7. Clear, table 3. Don't make eye contact. Don't interrupt. Don't exist unless summoned. That's the game. I've been playing it for 3 years. Then she walks in. An elderly Korean woman in a cream cardigan and pearl necklace, guided to table 12 by our hostess, Maya, whose smile is already cracking. I'm refilling wine glasses 2 tables over when I hear it, the sound of confusion turning to frustration. The woman's hands are moving.
Signing.
Maya's face goes blank. I'm sorry, I don't. The woman tries again, more urgently. Her hands shape words Maya can't read. I watch the manager, Tom, approach with that tight-lipped expression that means problem customer. He leans in, speaks slowly, too loudly.
Ma'am, can you
speak? She shakes her head, distressed now. Her hands move faster. Tom sighs. Maya, can someone else? Not my section, another server mutters, breezing past. My grandmother's face flashes in my mind. The same panic. The same invisible wall. Not your problem, Emilia. Not your table. Not safe. But my hands are already moving. I cross the floor, slide into the woman's line of sight, and sign. What do you need? Her entire body sags with relief. Bibimbap, she signs back, trembling. No shellfish. Allergy. Severe. I nod. Write it clearly. Add the allergy alert in red ink. Her eyes glisten. Thank you. You're welcome, I sign. When I turn to leave, I feel it. A gaze heavy and precise. Across the restaurant, a man sits alone. Tailored charcoal suit. Sharp jawline. Unreadable expression. He's watching me. That's Mr. Jung, Maya whispers at my elbow, voice tinged with fear. He owns this place. And about 40 others. He's waiting for me in the alley. Not creepy waiting. He's leaning against a black Mercedes, hands in his pockets, like he's been here 1,000 times before. Maybe he has. Ms. Benedict. I freeze mid-step. How do you know my name? Your name tag. He nods toward my vest. His voice is smooth, controlled, the kind that doesn't need to be loud to command a room. I'm Jung Min. We need to talk. I'm off the clock. I'll pay you for your time. He pulls an envelope from his jacket. $500. For 10 minutes of conversation. I should walk away. Every instinct I've honed in this city screams danger. But my bank account has $17 in it. And my rent is due in 4 days. 10 minutes, I say. He opens the car door. I hesitate. I'm not getting in your car. Fair enough. He closes it, leans back against the hood. My mother. You helped her tonight. Anyone would've. But no one did. His eyes lock onto mine.
She's deaf.
Has been since childhood. Most people don't have the patience. Or the skill. I grew up with my grandmother. She was deaf. Something shifts in his expression. My mother has been asking about you since you brought her food. She wants to see you again. I laugh, bitter. I'm a waitress. Not exactly. I'm offering you a job. He hands me a business card. Heavy stock. Embossed lettering. Personal companion and interpreter for my mother. $8,000 a month. Health insurance. Paid time off. The number punches the air out of my lungs. Why me? Because she trusts you. And my mother doesn't trust easily. I stare at the card. $8,000. That's nursing school. That's getting out of my roach-infested studio. That's freedom. What's the catch? There's always a catch, Ms. Benedict. But for now, the only thing I'm asking is that you show up. I take the card. I'll think about it. Good. He opens the car door again. Let me give you a ride home. Against every shred of common sense, I get in. The interior smells like leather and expensive cologne. We're 3 blocks from my apartment when I see it, the gun in the glove compartment. The driver catches my stare in the rearview mirror. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. Mr. Jung takes his mother's safety very seriously. The Jung estate doesn't look like danger. It looks like a spread in Architectural Digest. All clean lines, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a garden that probably costs more to maintain than I make in a year. Mrs. Jung greets me at the door, her face lighting up like I'm family. You came, she signs, pulling me into a hug that smells like jasmine and warmth. Jung Min watches from the hallway, expression unreadable. The first week is deceptively easy. I accompany Mrs. Jung to appointments, translate at restaurants, teach her new signs she's curious about. She's sharp, funny, stubborn in the way only Korean mothers can be. I start to forget the gun. The driver's cold smile. The way Jung Min's name makes people flinch. Then I see the meeting. I'm in the library, fetching a book Mrs. Jung requested, when voices drift through the cracked door of Jung Min's office.
Low.
Tense. The shipment was intercepted. A man says in Korean. The prosecutor is asking questions. Then give him answers that lead nowhere. Jung Min's voice is ice. And remind our friend in customs that loyalty is rewarded. Betrayal is not. Silence. Then, understood, Hyungnim. My hands are shaking as I back away. That night, I Google him. Jung Min, Los Angeles. The results are a minefield. Businessman with alleged ties to organized crime. Never charged, never convicted. Shadow empire built on restaurants, real estate, and whispers. I'm reading an article about a federal investigation when Mrs. Jung taps my shoulder. She points to the dinner table. Jung Min is already seated. Dinner is silent except for Mrs. Jung's cheerful signing. Jung Min barely eats. His phone buzzes. He glances at it, and his entire face hardens, something lethal sliding behind his eyes. He stands without a word and walks out onto the terrace. Through the window, I watch 3 men in dark suits arrive. One kneels, pulls a knife from his jacket, not to threaten, but to offer. Hilt first. Submissive. Jung Min takes it, weighs it in his hand, then says something that makes the man bow lower. I'm not watching a businessman. I'm watching a king. 3 weeks in, and Mrs. Jung feels more like family than employer. We cook together, her teaching me to fold mandu with the precision of someone who's done it 10,000 times, me teaching her signs she never learned. Sarcasm. Boundaries. Freedom. She laughs so hard at that last one she has to sit down. One afternoon, while kneading dough, she tells me her story. I was 19 when my husband died, she signs, flour dusting her hands. Jung Min was 2. No money. No family. Just a deaf widow in a country that didn't want us. How did you survive? Worked 3 jobs. Cleaned houses. Sewed clothing. Let people treat me like I was stupid because I couldn't hear them. Her smile turned sad. Jung Min watched it all. He learned early. The world respects power, not kindness. I'm beginning to understand the man who watches us from doorways. Jung Min is always there. Not hovering, surveilling. He monitors who visits, who calls, where his mother goes. When I suggest a trip to the farmer's market, he insists on 2 bodyguards. She's not a prisoner, I say one evening, cornering him in his office.
No.
She's my mother, and people know that hurting her is the fastest way to hurt me. So you lock her away? His jaw tightens. I keep her alive, Ms. Benedict. There's a difference. The air between us crackles. He's standing too close. I should step back. I don't. You can't control everything, I whisper. Watch me. Then Kong Dae-young arrives. He's handsome in a dangerous way, sharp suit, easy smile, eyes like a shark. Jung Min's second in command. He kisses Mrs. Jung's hand, charms her in perfect sign language, then turns that smile on me. So, you're the one everyone's talking about. I didn't know people were talking.
Oh, they are.
The waitress who walked into the lion's den. His smile sharpens.
Brave.
Or stupid. Jung Min's voice cuts through the room.
Kong.
We need to talk. Later, I'm in the garden when Kong finds me alone. You think you matter to him? His voice is silk over steel. You're a pet. A pretty distraction. When you become inconvenient, you'll disappear. Is that a threat? It's a fact. He walks away, leaving me cold. The next morning, I find it on my windshield. A dead bird, neck snapped, wrapped in red string. A traditional warning. Chapter 5. The Midpoint Shift, Secrets and Bloodshed. I hear voices through the library door. It's past midnight. I couldn't sleep, came down for tea, and now I'm frozen in the hallway because that's not Korean Jung Min is speaking. It's English. Formal. Careful. We need more time, Jung Min says. Kong suspects nothing. But if we move now. Mr. Jung, we've been patient for 2 years. A woman's voice. American. Clipped. We need actionable evidence or this deal dies. Deal? What deal? I'm giving you the entire network. Names, routes, financials. But I need assurance my mother stays protected. My heart stops. That was always part of the arrangement. Federal prosecutors. He's talking to federal prosecutors. The door opens. Jung Min's eyes lock onto mine. Ms. Benedict. The agents leave through a side exit. Jung Min stands there, perfectly still, calculating his next move. How much did you hear? Enough. He closes the library door behind us. For a long moment, he says nothing. I've been cooperating with the FBI for 2 years, he finally says. Feeding them information. Building a case to dismantle the organization from the inside. Why? Because I'm my mother's son, and I watched what this life did to her. The fear, the isolation, the constant threat. I won't let that be her legacy. Or mine. You're risking everything. I already lost everything that mattered the day my father died. I've spent 20 years building a cage. Now I'm burning it down. Something in his voice cracks. Something human. Kong is the key, he continues. He's the enforcer. The killer. If we can get him on record ordering a hit, the entire structure collapses. And then maybe I can be something other than this. He looks at me like I'm the answer to a question he's been asking his whole life. 3 days later, we set the trap. A staged deal. Hidden microphones. Federal agents in position. Then the call comes. It's done. Kang's voice crackles through Jung Min's phone. The witness is dead. Jung Min's face goes white. What witness? The one you were planning to hand over. Did you really think I didn't know? The line goes dead. At dawn, they come for him. Black SUVs. Federal agents. Arrest warrant for murder. The witness Kong killed and framed him for. Jung Min doesn't resist. As they drag him past me, he mouths 2 words. Protect her. Mrs. Jung is crying silently. And I realize I'm the only person who can prove his innocence. And Kong knows exactly where I am. We run. Not dramatically. Not in the middle of the night. We pack methodically. Mrs. Jung's medications, documents, cash Jung Min kept in a safe I didn't know existed. His lawyer, a woman named Sarah Lim, meets us at a hotel under a fake name. Kong has the organization, she says. And he's consolidating power. You're a loose end. What do we do? Prove Jung Min didn't order the hit. The only evidence is in Kang's office, recordings, financials, communications. If we can get it. You want me to break into a mob boss's office? I want you to survive. But if you're willing, I'm willing. 2 of Jung Min's loyalists help. Men who owe him their lives. We plan it like a heist. Wait until Kong leaves for a meeting, bypass security, find the safe. I'm terrified. But I think of Mrs. Jung's face. Of Jung Min's voice. Protect her. The office is all glass and cold steel. We disable the cameras. I find the safe behind a painting, predictable, arrogant. The loyalist cracks it. Inside, USB drives, ledgers, and a phone. I grab everything. Then I hear the door open. I knew you'd come. Kong stands there, gun drawn, smiling. You should have stayed invisible, Emilia. You were so good at it. He raises the gun. I close my eyes. The shot is deafening. But I'm not the one who falls. Kong stumbles, blood blooming across his shoulder. Behind him, Mrs. Jung stands in the doorway, trembling, holding Jung Min's gun in both hands. Her face is stone. She signs with one hand, gun still raised. You threatened my son. And her. That was your mistake. Kong laughs, bitter, collapsing against the desk. You think this changes anything? He's still guilty. You're still. Sarah Lim steps through the door. Phone recording.
Keep talking, she says.
Please. The courtroom feels like a cathedral built for judgment. I sit in the witness room, hands trembling, while Sarah Lim preps me for the 5th time. They'll try to discredit you, attack your character, make you seem like a lovesick girl who'd lie for a criminal. I'm not lying. I know, but you need to make them know. The media circus started the moment the arrest became public. Waitress lover of alleged mob boss. Black woman defends Korean kingpin. Romance or conspiracy? They made me a headline. A caricature. Anything but human. But when I step onto that stand, I am stone. The prosecutor circles like a predator. Ms. Benedict, isn't it true you were romantically involved with the defendant?
No.
But you lived in his home, worked for him, benefited financially. I cared for his mother. That's not a crime. Yet you expect us to believe. I expect you to look at the evidence.
I pull out the USB drive.
Kong Dae-young's own recordings. Ordering the hit. Framing Jung Min. It's all here. The courtroom goes silent. Sarah plays the audio. Kang's voice, cold and clear. Kill the witness. Make it look like Jung's order. He's getting too soft. Time for new leadership. The jury's faces shift. Then Jung Min takes the stand. He doesn't hide, doesn't deflect. He lists every crime, every decision, every compromise that built his empire. Then he explains why he burned it down. I watched my mother suffer because people saw her disability before her humanity. I became powerful so no one could hurt her again. But power without purpose is just violence. The FBI gave me a chance to dismantle what I built. I took it. His eyes find mine across the courtroom. Some people see what others ignore. And they don't look away. 3 days later, the verdict comes. Jung Min, exonerated on murder charges. 18 months for racketeering and conspiracy. Kong, life without parole. As they lead Jung Min away in cuffs, he stops. Turns. Wait for me. I should say yes. I should promise. Instead, I watch him go, silent, and let the question hang unanswered between us. 18 months is a long time to wonder if you made the right choice. I spend it building something that matters. A nonprofit focused on accessibility and criminal justice reform. I testify before city councils. I train medical staff in ASL. I become the voice for people who've been speaking all along, just not in ways others bothered to learn. Mrs. Jung stays with me. We're family now in the way that matters most. Chosen, not obligated. Then the call comes. He's being released tomorrow. I don't sleep that night. He looks thinner, older, but his eyes are the same. Dark, unflinching, seeing straight through me. We meet at a cafe, neutral ground, and for a long moment, neither of us speaks. You didn't answer, he finally says. You didn't ask a question. You gave an order. A ghost of a smile. Fair. He tells me what he's done. Liquidated every criminal asset, kept only the legitimate businesses. Restaurants, real estate, investments. All restructured with accessibility built in. Ramps, ASL interpreters, sensory-friendly spaces. I'm trying to build something my mother would be proud of. She already was. Then something I can be proud of. We start slowly. Coffee becomes dinners. Dinners become planning sessions. We open the first community center in Koreatown, free ESL and ASL classes, job training, resources for deaf and hard-of-hearing families. Mrs. Jung cuts the ribbon, tears streaming down her face. This is what power should be, she signs. 6 months later, her heart gives out. Peacefully, in her sleep, surrounded by photos of every life she touched. At the funeral, a young deaf girl approaches me, maybe 8 years old. You saved her, she signs, solemn. Can you save me too? I look at Jung Min. His face is grief and purpose tangled together. He nods. I kneel down, sign back. Let's save each other. 5 years later, I'm standing in front of a room full of medical students, teaching them the signs for pain, fear, help, hope. Jung Min waits outside, hand resting on my belly, 7 months swollen with a daughter we've already named Hannah.
1.
The first. The beginning. The city has shifted in small, seismic ways. Policies mandating ASL interpreters in hospitals. Accessibility standards in new construction. Cultural competency training that actually works.
People notice now.
People see. Our nonprofit has grown to 6 locations. Jung Min's businesses employ hundreds, prioritizing people society overlooks. Ex-convicts. Immigrants. Disabled workers. The invisible ones. Last week, the mayor gave me an award. I thought of that Friday night, exhausted, anonymous, just trying to survive. I thought of the woman whose hands shaped a desperate plea. Tonight, I sit in our living room, Mrs. Jung's portrait above the fireplace. Hannah kicks inside me. Jung Min brings tea, kisses my temple. Tell me again, he says. The story of how we started. You mean the night I ruined my life? The night you saved it. I smile, place my hand on my belly, and begin signing to our daughter. A story about a woman who learned that being seen is terrifying and necessary, and the only way love survives. They say one person can't change the world. I sign and speak aloud, so Jung Min can translate for the daughter, who will hear but also learn to listen with her eyes. But I learned the truth that night. You don't change the world. You change one person. And they change another. And another. Hannah kicks again, as if in agreement, until the invisible become undeniable.